Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sheff United way. How are we all doing out there? We've seen the Blades win another pre-season friendly against League One side Derby County. It's still weird saying that Derby are a League One side, to be perfectly honest, because throughout my lifetime, Derby have mostly been better than us. So it's nice to see us being better than them, shall we say. And yeah, we've picked up the 3 points today, which is fantastic to see because we were wavering a little bit. I was a little bit worried about the Blades going into this game and kind of the preseason games before. But we'll run through the lineup first and foremost. Finally, we've gone in with as much of a strong side as we possibly can. Probably our best side that we could have put out. Right now, I believe it. So Wes in the goal, George at right wing back, Enel, Egan, and Jackie Longthrow at in the defence. Max Lowe left wing back. We've got Slimani, Ben Osborne, Sanderberger all in the midfield, and then Will Osula and Illiman up top, with Illiman kind of supporting Will Osula as Illiman usually does. That means that Jebo not even on the bench because we've got Davis on the bench, Bash on the bench, Frecklington, LaRucci, Harrison Neal, Andre Brooks, and Louis Marsh. So that means no Jebo, and that also means no Ollie Norwood because of, I guess, that gash on his head. It did look really, really bad. And no Ollie Mack as well. There's probably a few others, but those are the three that I kind of picked out as you'd probably see them pushing for a start in this game. LaRucci, whatever you want to call him, first and foremost for me, being on the bench and Max Lowe playing at left wing back spoke volumes for me. I think that that's how it will be come the start of the season against Crystal Palace. In my opinion, I just think that we've not seen enough from LaRucci to say that he's going to start over Max Lowe. But we'll have to wait and see, won't we? I thought we'd started pretty well in this game. I thought we were the better side pretty much throughout. I think once they'd scored, or kind of just before they scored and then just after they scored, I felt like they had a bit of play and looked quite dangerous at times. Not too dangerous, to be honest. In the first half, they didn't really kind of give Wes much to think about. There was one kind of poor cross that Wes had to tip over the bar, but other than that, that was about it. But in the 17th minute, Slimani, what a finish from the lad. What a finish. Obviously, Illiman and Ndiaye did most of the work for him, but he still had to fire that shot venomously into the bottom corner. But what happened? Illiman put them under loads and loads of pressure, as he has done since he kind of started playing professional football for the Blades. And I'm just realizing that this light is really annoying me from outside. But you're just going to have to pretend that it's not there and listen to my beautiful, beautiful dulcet tones. So yeah, Illiman put a lot of pressure on the defender. He played a back pass to the goalkeeper, which was pretty poor. Illiman gets in there, takes it round the goalkeeper, as he quite often does. All he's got to do is side foot it either left or right. I just realized that I went the wrong way then, but to you, it's probably right. So he either went left or right. Let's see. I'll watch this back afterwards and see if I've done that right. And he hits it pretty much straight down the middle. And there's a defender on the line who blocks it and blocks it really well, to be fair. He gets it really far away from the goal. But Anis Slimani runs in and absolutely fires a rocket past the defender. The goalkeeper's nowhere to be seen because, he was out of his goal. I think he might have just got back on the line in time for Slimani to smash a wondrous strike past him. But three goalkeepers aren't saving that. It was a great finish and great to see already Slimani chipping in with goals, because I want to see at least 4 or 5 goals from him next season. That would be great. And I do think that Slimani will start at the beginning of the season. And for me, Slimani, it looks like he's going to be playing in more of an advanced role, which I never expected, to be honest. The size of him, what we've heard about him before kind of like he joined us, I thought he was going to be playing as a bit of a defensive midfielder, to be honest. And Sander being pushed forward. But as Hecky continues to be the Blades boss, Sander almost keeps getting pushed and pushed further back. And now he's very much taking the ball off the defense and starting off the attacks rather than kind of ending them with a devastating cross after he's bullied their defenders out of the way. But to be honest, I thought Sander was fantastic, especially in the first half defensively as well, because he was constantly getting back and just nipping the ball away from their attackers when they're just about to put a good ball into the box or have a shot. So very, very well done to Sander. You don't see that a lot from Sander, to be honest. So it was really, really nice to see. In the 40th minute, Osula hit the bar after some really, really good work through kind of Illiman, Slimani. I think it was Slimani, then Illiman, actually, through to Will Osula. He tries to dink the goalkeeper, puts a little bit too much on it, which is quite often the case when these players are going through. You're just trying to get it over the goalkeeper. So he put a little bit too much on it, and it hit the crossbar and came out. To be honest, I thought Osula was fantastic in this game. The only thing that he's missing is that goal, which is really frustrating to see, and must be so frustrating for him. But we saw David McGoldrick do practically 3/4 of a season in the Premier League, playing out of his skin, but not being able to find that goal. So I'm not too bothered about the goals. I think the goals will come for Osula. He gets in some fantastic positions. He had loads and loads of chances today. So honestly, the goals don't bother me as much for Will Osula. It's him getting into those positions, the link-up play, the harrying of defenders and stuff like that, because when Will Osula's running at you, it must be nerve-wracking because he is rapid. He's very leggy as well. Him and Jebo are quite similar in that vein. And it must be quite scary, Daddy Longlegs running at you with his big long legs. But no, he was fantastic today. Really, really unlucky, like I say, in the 40th minute with hitting the bar. But very, very exciting going forward. I really enjoyed watching him in that first half and in that second half, really, to be honest. I just want to get him to get a goal, because once he gets a goal, he'll get two, he'll get three, he'll get four. And honestly, looking at him, I don't even know if I'd send him out on loan. I know everybody will be saying, send him out on loan to a championship club, let him find his feet, let him score some goals. But at the moment, we've got Ollie Mack. Am I right? Am I right? We've got Ollie Mack, we've got Jebo, who doesn't look anywhere near the finished article right now. I honestly think that he's got everything. I think Jebo and Will Osula have both got everything. They just need that confidence in front of goal. But for me, at the moment, Will Osula, I'd much rather see him start the first game of the season than Jebo. I do think we'll bring in one or two strikers. And obviously, we've got Benny Traore as well. I'm still not 100% sure whether Benny Traore is going to be an Illiman or whether he's going to be an Ollie Mack. Don't get me wrong. I know he's not physical, tall, strong as Ollie Mack, but I don't know whether he's going to be the furthest player forward or if he's going to be kind of in the hole, kind of creating stuff, because I know he's a very, very skillful player. In the first half as well, I think it was in the first half, Illiman went down, which was really, really nerve-wracking. I made a joke to one of my mates that, it'd be nice if Illiman just got a little tiny injury for like a week or two that stopped him from going to Marseille. At the moment, we still don't know. We still don't know whether he's going to Marseille or not. It looked like it was nailed on a few days ago, but it's looked like it's nailed on both ways many times. But he picked up a bit of a knock. I think it was just a knock. I don't think there was anything else there, because I think he played the rest of the game, if I'm not mistaken. And like I said earlier on, it was nice to see that we're playing a full strength side, or as full strength as it can be right now, and not making 11 changes or 10 changes on the 60th or 75th minute or something like that. We obviously made a few changes, which I will get onto in a moment, because Chris Basham was someone that I was like not expecting to see in the midfield today. But I thought we were strong at the back for the most part. Obviously, their goal, we definitely could have done a lot better with that. But for the most part, it didn't look like Derby were going to score. We'll jump into kind of the second half. 50th minute, Wes passed the ball straight to their striker, which was kind of like, I know you're not doing a lot, Wes, but come on, man. Come on. It's schoolboy stuff. And really, the only two problems that we had was our own stumbles, and Enel literally stumbled and they got in, and fortunately for us, unfortunately for them, didn't find the back of the net. So it's one of those things where it felt like today, obviously for their goal, Mendes Lang put an absolutely wondrous goal into the back post. We should have done better with it, but at the same time, I think other than something spectacular from Derby or a slip from us, they weren't scoring today, to be perfectly honest. That was in the 59th minute when that great ball came in and a finish from Corey Smith, I think it was, at the back stick. I did also write down just before that Will Osula gets through from a lovely flick from Illiman, one-on-one. But first of all, he can't get it under control. It's on his left foot. Obviously, he don't want it to be there. He wants it on his right, but he's on his left foot. Takes a bit of a stumble, and the keeper makes a really good save. But it's just that was just Will Osula's day, to be perfectly honest. In the 65th minute, Sander played a lovely through ball to Illiman. Sorry, I keep saying Illiman. I need to stop saying that, because if he does go to Marseille, I'll just keep saying Illiman for everybody. Sander played a brilliant ball through to Enel. Enel takes a touch out of his feet. It's never really going to go in unless you are blasting that from there. Wildsmith makes quite an easy save, kind of straight in front of his face. Kind of a side-footed shot, quite high up for the keeper to make a really simple save equal to it. In the 68th minute, we just looked like we were going to score. Every time we got the ball, we looked like we were going to score. And it was just great football from the lads. And this is what we've been missing. I've been really struggling watching us when we kind of split those sides up into 240. Well, either 245s or the Rotherham and the Girona game. We split the teams up into two games. And the problem that you have when you do that is that you've got a full bench of kids. Going to the Rotherham game and watching us not really kind of put them to the sword, I was looking, thinking, where's the kind of spark going to come from? Like, Illiman wasn't on it. Jebo wasn't on it. Ben Osborne was probably the best player against Rotherham. And then you got a bench full of kids that are coming on. But at least in this game, fair enough, we still had a load of kids. Frecklington, Harrison Neal, Brooks, Marsh. But at the same time, Brooks was one of our best players against Rotherham. So him coming on to try and do something towards the end of the game, I wouldn't have been against that, to be honest. But we didn't need it. In the 82nd minute, Illiman plays the ball out to Max Lowe. He lays the ball across the box, as he usually does. He doesn't put the ball in the air quite that much, to be honest, Max Lowe. He puts it along the ground. The defender kind of blocks the cross. It lands to George on his left. George doesn't need two invitations or even one invitation to have a shot. And it's on his left foot. And you're thinking, he's not going to shoot from here. He's not going to shoot. He takes a good touch in the box and fires a devastating left-footed shot, high and handsome, into the top corner past Wildsmith. A fantastic goal from George Baldock. And you love to see it, guys, don't you? You love to see someone like George Baldock, who absolutely does everything for the team, 100%, every single game, shouts at his own players when they're not doing what he wants them to do. He's Angry George. He gets involved in everything. And it's just great to see him involved in scoring goals and winning his games of football, because let's be honest, this won us the game of football because it took us 2-1 ahead. Great finish. But it couldn't have happened to a nicer bloke. And then 2 minutes later, Bash intercepts the ball from midfield. He's running through the midfield. What made me laugh is that Bash takes a little bit of a stumble. And I think this makes the goal, because Bash is not the best when it comes to composure in front of goal in the past. He hasn't scored too many goals in his time at Bramall Lane, or away from Bramall Lane even. And he gets the ball. He makes a stumble. The defender comes in to try to take the ball off him. But I think that stumble has kind of lulled the defender in, and he's laid it through to Illiman. And it's a devastating finish. Another devastating finish. High and handsome. Hits the crossbar and goes in. Another Illiman Ndiaye goal for this pre-season. We've not had too many, but we've also not had too many goals from the Blade. So it was great to see us scoring 3 goals, and 3 good goals, to be honest. All really well-worked goals. it would have been nice to have seen Illiman score the Slimani goal, because that's what Illiman sometimes needs to work on a little bit more. Sometimes his composure is next to none. Like, I don't want anybody else in this position other than Illiman sometimes. But then other times, like when he's stood in front of goal, there's one player on the line and he's kind of stumbling. He's like, what do I do? And he hits it straight at the player where he's got a full net to aim at pretty much. But yeah, the third goal, you can't argue with that. It was a devastating finish. Great to see. And that pretty much caps it off. Who came on in the game? I don't think LaRucci ended up coming on in the game. Brooks came on and Bash came on. Bash came on in the midfield. And this is what I wanted to talk about just for a second, because I wonder if Bash is going to be given more of a chance in midfield this season. Obviously, he's not going to be a starter. Anel's going to be the starter at right centre-back. Bash can also play there. Anel can play central centre-back. So we could see if, for instance, John Egan got himself injured, we could see Anel move across like he did against Spurs. He was brilliant against Spurs as well. And then we could see Bash at right centre-back, or we could see Bash in the midfield. Like, I expected to see more in the midfield last season when we had injury problems and stuff, but we didn't. And that's probably because Anel was injured at times last season, or ill, should I say. But I wouldn't be completely against Bash playing centre mid in certain games or coming on in certain games, because I do think he adds height, he adds strength, he gets stuck in. He's a good defender, which that's what you need as a sort of defensive midfielder. He's good going forward. We know that he can play down that right-hand side. So obviously I think he would play either right of the midfield or he'd play defensive midfield and get stuck in. So I'm not completely against it. Obviously, I want to see us bring players in, want to see us bring a really good central midfielder, whether that be a box-to-box player or whether that be a defensive midfielder. But Bash did all right in midfield today, and obviously got an assist for Illiman. So not bad at all. Andre Brooks came on and played a couple of really nice passes. He's great on the ball. He made a mistake at one point, but we got back and covered him. I think he's a great player. I don't want to see Andre Brooks go out on loan this season. I think that he has a bit of a, not a big part, but he's a bit of a part to play in this season coming in the Premier League. I think he's very, very talented, a very talented boy. And I hope to see him more in a red and white shirt, to be perfectly honest, guys. But we won 3-1. As I've just said, I've mentioned it as we've gone through. I think it was a lot better. It was attacking wise, it was streets ahead of the Girona game, streets ahead of the Rotherham game. The Rotherham game was really bad, really, really bad. But I'll run through some of the comments now, guys. Ollie M says, much, much better. Absolutely. You couldn't have said it better myself in the title. William said, glad I shelled out a fiver for this one. Love me some defender goals. Yeah, I love it too. I played defence for most of my footballing career, shall we say. And yeah, always good to see a defender get on the score sheet. A lot better. Still a bit worried about our left side of the team. Robinson low. Osborne is weak. It is weak. Don't get me wrong. It is weak. But at the same time, watching the Rotherham game, I know we were missing Sander. I know we were missing Slimani from that team. But I just saw us and thought, we are really, really weak creatively here in this game. We had Illiman, and that was it. So it was nice to see Illiman, Slimani, and Sander Berger all playing in the same team, because we definitely had a lot more creativity in that midfield. Defensively, a little bit suspect. Yeah, I think they probably switched off. I think in the games like against Tottenham last season, where we didn't switch off for a second, I think next season, I'm pretty happy, at least with Anel and Egan. I'd like to see us bring in another left-sided centre-back, but we'll have to see. There's also Reece Norrington-Davies and Alex Twenzebe is rumoured to be at Bramall Lane having a medical right now. So I'm going to have to go away and edit a video after this that Hal's already made. So we're ready and raring to go. So you guys know exactly what Alex Twenzebe is all about. I think we also need a senior striker in. McBurney misses too many games nowadays. It is really, really sad, to be honest, for McBurney, because just when he's coming back and playing well, because against Chesterfield, did some really good touches, made the goal for Illiman with that lovely little step over. And it's just really sad for him because he's just very injury prone, isn't he? Like he's been injured a lot since being at Bramall Lane. I'm not sure how much of his time he spent on the sidelines for Swansea injured. But he certainly had a lot of injury problems at United. Hopefully he comes back and we see him for the majority of the season. But we certainly do need another big striker in there, don't we? Still think we need a left side centre back, maybe another centre back as backup, a centre mid, a striker. We need everyone, don't we? But Ollie, you are absolutely right with that one. He did exactly the same at Rotherham. Yes, I don't know who that is because we've definitely moved on. Berger was superb. Slimani looks good too, although the pace of the Premier League. Yes, I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. Honestly, I think Slimani will be really good for us next season. I think he'll play the majority of the season. Same as Sander, hopefully. Everybody stays injury-free. We don't have any problems. I know you of course, you're going to get problems at some point, but hopefully we don't get too many of them. Illy was immense today. He's going to destroy the Prem defences if he stays. Fingers crossed. Yeah, he was. Do you know what, Wayne? Do you know what? He was certainly better than against Rotherham. And I don't know whether that was because he was playing with better players or whether that was because he knows he's staying for the season. I don't want to say that, but I've just got my fingers securely crossed, constantly crossed. Shame Osula hasn't scored in pre-season yet. I know it's really sad because that's all he's missing from his game. That's all he's missing. Who scored the last two goals? George Baldock scored the second with an absolutely fantastic left-footed strike. And then Illiman went through one-on-one with a fantastic strike as well. Osula is way better than Jebo. I'm not going to agree, Justin. I'm not going to agree, but look at my eyes. You're right. You're absolutely right. I wasn't going to agree. I am agreeing. Right now, anyway. Right now, he is, definitely. And L wasn't bad. I'd keep Osula and start 100%. Traore be impact player off the bench till he figures out how we work. I think you're right. I do think you're right. It can be very, very exciting coming off the bench, though, can't it? It has been a little bit disappointing that we've not seen him. It's been at least a couple of weeks, if not 3 weeks, since he signed, and we haven't seen him play football in a Blade shirt yet. We need a striker desperately. Will Osula and Daniel Jebbers. That's difficult. That's difficult to work that out when I'm streaming live. So yeah, too raw for the Prem and McBurney can't stay fit. We are struggling with strikers. We need to bring strikers in. I think we all know that. It's I think the powers that be need to know that as well because we need to bring in a striker at least as soon as possible. How confident are you with Wes being our number one goalkeeper for next? Do you know what? He doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence, but he's had 2 good seasons at Bramall Lane. And honestly, I think that, yeah, if Wes played all season, I don't think we'll see too many problems from him, to be honest. But I would like to see another goalkeeper come in, to be honest, because imagine if Wes gets injured, Adam Davis in the goal for a lot of the Premier League season, that's going to be curtains for us. Curtains. Perhaps get Billy Sharp back as a personal coach. Can't see it. Can't see it, to be honest. I think he wants to play. Has Sherry played any minutes yet? No, Paul. He hasn't. Not got a visa yet, Mark saying absolutely. A win is a win, definitely. I'm very happy with the win. I think Osula needs work on his shooting. Yeah, you're not wrong. Still remember Basham's priceless goal against Leeds. That was certainly a slip. Very good. Very good. Basham is always better when he's not in control of his legs. I think you're absolutely right there. Hecky has planned out the build-up for the season. Younger players been involved with the team. You might be right. Beating Rotherham wasn't important. Getting everyone up to speed was the aim. One thing that, yeah, I agree with the youngsters getting game time, but at the same time, the youngsters aren't going to be playing for us next season in the Premier League. I would have rather have seen, and I know this is Hecky's choice. It's not my choice. He's the expert. I'm not. I would have liked to have seen the players get more game time together. Slimani, Berger, and Ndiaye all linking up. That's what I would have liked to have seen. But at the same time, Hecky's the man. Hecky is the man. A fit Reece Harrington Davis solves a lot of problems, but who knows if that will happen? Yeah, fingers crossed, because he's been injured for a long old time. Let's see what happens when he does eventually come back. All right, Nick, thought Ozzy and Berger were great. I honestly thought Ozzy was good as well. Agreed, mate. Agreed, Blades, man. Chris, nice to see you, mate. Realistic, we need about 3 more signings, a keeper, a left centre back, a midfielder. Who fits the bill for you? Who are the 3 players you feel we could sign? I think that's got to be another video, hasn't it? It's got to be another video. Just looking at the players, I would obviously like to see Doyle in there, but at the same time, I don't think Doyle is the be-all and end-all. I'd love to see Doyle in a Sheffield United shirt again and be a permanent fixture at Bramall Lane, but at the same time, he was really good last season. He wasn't outstanding. He was really good last season in the Championship. In the Premier League, he'll dig in. Don't get me wrong, he will dig in. He's got a good free kick on him. Like I say, gets stuck in. He's a good ball player. I just don't know if there's better players out there, to be honest. They probably are. But I would like to see Doyle back in a Sheffield United shirt, don't get me wrong. Doyle, Berger and Slimani midfield would give us a chance against most teams. There we go. Doyle's been mentioned straight away. If Everton are serious about Jebo, would a swap for Maupay work? Ooh, I don't want to touch that one. I don't want to touch that one because I really like Maupay, but they're 2 completely different players. Jebo could go on to be a Ballon d'Or winner. He won't, but Jebo could go on to the very, very top. And if we just let him go to Everton and he start banging in goals, I'll be devastated. But at the same time, I think that's Maupay, what you're saying. I think it's Maupay. I do like Maupay. I really do. A lot of fans don't. I think owners trying to save money and hope Wes works out. I think he deserves a shot. I think you're right. You are right. We need 6 signings just to finish bottom. Okay, I honestly, I think if we don't sign those 6 players, we still could finish bottom. So fingers crossed for you then. Doyle 100%, Chris is saying. And Armar is saying hi. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. Now, thank you everybody for watching. I'm going to leave it there. We've still got 180 people in the stream, which is fantastic. So make sure you like this video before you go. It helps us push it out further and further and further, and it helps the channel out so much more. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. But it's not going to happen because Aston Villa have said he's involved in their plans next season. So that's unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate, Paul. But we move. I'm sure the Prince has got some aces up his sleeve, and we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. See you next time.